Good Tuesday evening to you, and thanks so much for joining us tonight on Up North Live Unscripted at 6:30. Sure was a hot one out there all across northern Michigan. I'm sure you folks who are watching, most likely you're inside, getting maybe a break from all that heat outside. For those who were outside today, hopefully you packed your sunscreen and a whole lot of water. Joe, will our Wednesday be another hot day, or will things cool down a bit?
Well, if you're in Newberry, it'll be 68, and if you're in Big Rapids, it'll be near 90. So it depends.
Yep.
But that's because we have a front coming in. So eventually by Thursday, it's going to bring in some cooler weather for everybody. And we're already seeing some pretty big storms in the western part of the state. We'll see a chance for some rain too, and I actually think tomorrow night, Maya, we're about 24 hours away from this, but possibly some heavier rain for our area too. So the weather getting, I guess what I'm trying to say here, getting a little bit more active coming up here. So we'll take a look at that and what to expect for the rest of the week in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Joe. Our top story tonight takes us to Grand Traverse County, where a 17-year-old Traverse City man is facing one of the state's most serious felony charges. Today in 86th District Court, Luke Hagelstein pled not guilty to accusations of raping a 16-year-old girl. And we do want to warn our viewers that some of the information we're about to share about the alleged assault is graphic. But the reason why we are reporting this is because Hagelstein is being tried as an adult due to his criminal sexual conduct felony charge. During a preliminary exam this afternoon, the victim was asked to recall details about the alleged assault, explaining she was in a parked car with Hagelstein when he choked her until she was unconscious. The victim said when she woke up, her clothes were off and he was forcing himself inside her. She said Hagelstein choked her again, and when she woke up a second time, he was gone, leaving a bloody napkin and a condom wrapper in her car.
She certainly didn't consent to being choked and passed out and waking up, finding the defendant penetrating her and raping her. So, I mean, it's clear that for probable cause purposes, that's what happened. He intentionally sexually assaulted her. He knew what he was doing. It's very scary.
Clearly she's conflicted, but that doesn't mean that Luke Hagelstein is a rapist. So, Your Honor, while I understand that the standard is probable cause here, there are real issues with the testimony as it was taken today and with the substance of the evidence that's being relied on to charge this young man with the most serious sort of sexual assault that exists.
The victim, her mother, and the Michigan State Police trooper who investigated the incident were all called as witnesses today. After hearing the evidence presented by the prosecutor, the judge decided to move the case forward to circuit court. Hagelstein's bond was continued, and a date for his circuit court appearance has not yet been set. To news now out of Sheboygan County, the McDonald's restaurant on M68 in Indian River was destroyed by a fire early this morning. We're learning that fire crews were called to the restaurant that also has a gas station on the property around 5 a.m. The Tuscarora Township Fire Chief said his crews saw fire coming out of the vents of the restaurant when they got to the scene. Crew says they were later called to a rekindle around 5 p.m. this evening. The fire chief tells us that the fire was put out again around 5:30. The building is said to be a complete loss.
There was flames coming out the chimney of the for the grease stack, for the grease fryer, and the employee that was starting up the grease in the morning, getting things going, noticed that it was just really getting boiling and starting to boil over and stuff. So the automatic Ansol system, which is like a fire extinguisher, tried to snuff the fire out, but it didn't work.
And again, it is believed it was a grease fire that spread into the attic, but luckily the fire chief says nobody was injured. And another fire doing some damage. This one was in Missaukee County. Take a look. Charred beams, twisted metal, and the scent of smoke still in the air. This is what's left after flames tore through a sawmill on West Finkel Road in Riverside Township last night. Crews arrived with the building engulfed and another building already burning. Firefighters from 6 different fire departments were on scene to save a third building and a stack of lumber. It took 50 firefighters about 6 hours to extinguish the fire. The cause has yet to be determined. It is still under investigation. Well, switching gears here, today the Alpena community came together to cut the ribbon on a pretty unique housing project. Bingham Apartments is focused on affordable senior living, as well as preserving a building that has some deep ties with the Alpena community. Up North Live's Mary Jane Glynn went to the ribbon cutting and heard the stories beyond this new apartment complex.
Bingham Apartments has 35 units with rents ranges from $350 a month for a one-bedroom to $950 for a 2-bedroom. But before this was made into an apartment complex, it was a school built in 1863. A current resident, Katie Evans, went to kindergarten in this very building. And at the age of 81 years old, when she walked back into the building, the memories came flooding back.
When I came in to look at the apartment, when I walked into the gymnasium, I could see all the rafters full of people, all the bleachers full of people. And so it had to have been some sort of a graduation thing at the very end. Those are my memories.
Hope Network, Huntington Bank, and the Michigan Economic Development Corporation purchased this building in February of 2024 and invested $19 million worth of renovations. Since the original hallways and floor of the school have been kept intact, this building was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2020. This building serves many purposes for the community. It was once a school, a place children played, an art academy, and so much more. Now it's a home.
It's meaningful because it exemplifies our mission for behind affordable housing and the long-term impact it will have, not just on the people who live in this building now, but on the entire Alpena community.
This is also a symbol of resiliency and how the city of Alpena has decided to overcome housing issues in a unique and meaningful way.
In the time when many communities across the country, including Alpena, are facing challenges with affordable housing, this project offers a thoughtful and meaningful solution. The Bingham Apartments not only provide much-needed housing, but they do it while preserving the rich history and character of this beloved building.
It also accommodates the needs of its residents, making this not just an apartment, but someone's safe place.
I don't get around real well, and I have balance issues, so to be in a place that I don't have a lot of barriers, and to have a shower that I can get into without worrying about falling. I have my own washer and dryer. Everything is made for someone like myself. Very thoughtful.
In Alpena, Mary Jane Glynn, UpNorthLive News.
A very unique project there that I'm sure hits home for many folks in the Alpena community. Actually, my mom went to elementary school at Bingham School, so cool to see life back in that building once again. We are told that the building is at capacity, but there is a wait list. Well, it is the first of its kind model in the entire world, and it just arrived in Traverse City. A 3D printer may be used to not only address our housing shortage, but also a real skilled worker shortage. The machine was just installed at Northwestern Michigan College, and our Mark Schlett was there to see it in action.
We've been doing traditional framing techniques for over 50 years.
Spend any time at NMC's Aero Park Laboratory and you'll see all the signs and tools of traditional stick-built construction. But today, something new and innovative showed up.
It's the first one in the world, this specific model.
And it had the instructors turning into students themselves,
Giving us the 101 on how this machine works.
This is the latest addition to the lab, a delivery from Alabama-based Build Additive.
We design and manufacture 3D concrete printing equipment that's specifically designed for printing homes.
Yep, it's a 3D printer, but instead of polymers and plastics, it uses good old-fashioned concrete.
It basically places the mortar in the shape of the house.
This machine, once programmed with a design, can print in concrete, walls up to 10 feet high and 26 feet long, and not just straight ones.
This machine can create a curved wall with the same energies it will a straight wall. So if you talk to an architect, they want shape and form, they want design. We can service that.
It may not replace traditional building, but it may help in replacing a declining workforce in the masonry field.
For every 6 people my age that are leaving masonry construction, only one's coming in. So there's a real skilled workforce gap.
NMC saw a training need and an opportunity to address it.
If you would have asked me 2 years ago if I thought we'd be 3D concrete printing homes, I would have said no, but I'm excited that we decided to go down this avenue, and we're excited to get it going.
A win for Build Additive, the company behind the printer.
I look around and I've met the instructors here, I see what you're doing. Their pedagogy, the way they teach, they're really big on fundamentals, understanding like how to cut with a handsaw before you use a miter saw. That means a lot to us. There's a lot of fundamentals in 3D concrete printing that can't be ignored. We focus on those, and we trust that you're going to be able to teach those to the next generation.
And a win for NMC students. The next generation of builders who may see a lot of things like this before their career's over.
I think they're going to be excited. I think this is something that's brand new. Like I said, we've been doing things the same way for a long time, and I think we need to disrupt the industry a little bit.
That was our Mark Gillette reporting. NMC says the printer is probably a $200,000 piece of equipment, but they say they were able to pay for it through grants and donations. And tomorrow, some of those contributors will get the chance to see the machine in action. Well, today our question of the day is related to Mark's story. Would you live in a 3D printed house? Scan the QR code on your screen right now. That will take you to our website where you can vote. Looks like results are showing a lot of people are saying, yes, I would live in a 3D printed house. 68% yes, 32% no. We will continue to keep an eye on those results. And also, if you want to add any of your comments, head over to our Facebook page, leave some comments there, and we'll also take a look at those at the end of the show. Well, the Wexford County Sheriff's Office is launching a new program aimed at helping inmates with mental health needs. Amy Cox is now officially the department's first social worker. While the position isn't fully active yet, she is currently undergoing training, but once in place, she'll work directly with inmates, focusing on support services.
Realized that there was kind of a gap in coverage and services within the jail in addressing mental health needs. So it was sort of a conversation that evolved between myself, the jail administrator, the sheriff and undersheriff, about how we would be able to address that need.
Cox said the training phase should wrap up pretty soon and hopes to start working with inmates in August. Well, tonight we are getting a pretty unique firsthand look at operations at the Michigan State Police headquarters. Our team was invited to tour their Intelligence Operations Center and State Emergency Operations Center. Carter Landis discovered how the facilities operate across the state to protect and serve us.
Activated in 2020 during the pandemic, the Michigan State Police have relied on their Intelligence Operations Center and their State Emergency Center to handle all kinds of situations. The center has dealt with terrorist threats, local crime, and natural disasters, facilitating communications across the state in these operations centers.
Everybody pitches in when things get tough here, and we're dealing with different threats, rough times, challenging times, whether it's a natural disaster or anything else that's taking place.
One of the most recent incidents the Intelligence Operations Center played a role in, the discovery of the hit list involving Michigan politicians after the murder of Minnesota lawmaker Melissa Hortman. The State Emergency Operations Center also coordinated a response to the ice storms that damaged northern Michigan this spring.
We had entities from multiple state departments all working together to provide the response and meet the needs of what our local partners had out in the field.
The Intelligence Operations Center acts as a central location to turn information into a coordinated response. That includes resources like canines and emergency support.
Our mission is to ensure that all intelligence comes to one central location, and then we disseminate actionable intelligence back to our law enforcement partners and our private sector partners.
That was Carter Landis reporting. With federal cuts to FEMA and the National Weather Service coming down, MSP could not speak to the effect they could have, but plan to continue operations as normal in the meantime. All right, let's take a quick break, but coming up on the other side of this break, we'll bring back in Chief Meteorologist Joe Charlevoix. He mentioned some rain in the forecast heading our way. He'll have all of those details straight ahead.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Sure is a hot one today across northern Michigan, but as Joe mentioned earlier, in about 24 hours, we could see some rain. For more on that, let's turn things back over to Joe.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think we'll see any tonight. So a nice evening out there. It's warm, of course, and we're kind of in store for a warm night tonight too, Maya. Warm and muggy. Let's go to Cadillac. Still a little hazy too, although that is also heading out of here. It's 86 right now, lots of sunshine, a dry day there, courtesy of our Baker College camera there in Cadillac. A wind out of the southwest. We'll quickly start with smoke and the haze. Still a little bit. The really thick stuff we had over us Sunday, Monday is gone. And now we're looking at some of that haze heading out of here as we head into Wednesday afternoon and evening. So the air quality improving. We'll see a little bit more of a blue sky coming up here. High temperatures today, there they are. This is the warmest it got. And top of the list, congratulations, Grayling, 91, the high there today. Traverse City and Cadillac, 90 degrees as well. So we did reach 90 there, and we were really close at Alpena and Rogers City. Even Sheboygan today, 88, 85, the high temperature so far at Sault Ste. Marie. But if you look to the north of us, it's still warm up at Marquette, it's 88. But on the other side of Lake Superior, it's in the 50s and 60s right now. And that is kind of the air mass slowly heading our way. Due to a front which is kind of stuck right there. You can kind of tell right along where we have that temperature difference. There's our frontal boundary. This is not going to race through here like tonight. Sometimes you get storms upstream, and then it storms here overnight. That's not going to happen tonight. We do have some active weather. There's radar currently. In fact, that yellow box is a severe thunderstorm watch for the western UP, northern Wisconsin, parts of Minnesota, north of the Twin Cities. And they've had quite a bit of rain, some thunderstorms, some hail in spots there. But we're not going to really get any of that here. That front's going to kind of stay up there, at least for tonight. So as we take a look at our forecast, there it is. Fairly clear skies tonight through tomorrow morning. Into the afternoon, not much happening. And then tomorrow afternoon, mid to late afternoon, you take a line Rogers City to Manistee, south and east of there. The best chance for a couple storms to pop up in the afternoon and evening tomorrow. So that's the first chance for rain. That'll be more scattered. Then a widespread rain, some thunderstorms comes in tomorrow night, right there. And I think everybody is going to get rain tomorrow night. Could be heavy in a few spots. Then Thursday morning, a few showers. That heads out of here then Thursday afternoon. As far as severe weather is concerned, we're in the marginal risk, which we see that fairly often here, that a storm or two could reach severe levels, but we're not anticipating any widespread severe weather. And a run out on the rain totals. I mean, some spots could pick up more than an inch of rain. Right now, it's kind of trending the southern half of the area. Potentially could see some of the heavier rain. So here's our extended forecast. Tonight, it's interesting. Tonight, the lows will be in the 60s. And then Thursday, the highs will be in the 60s. So that's that cooler air mass coming in. Friday looks nice. We'll end the week with some sunshine. And then it looks like a decent weekend. Highs in the 70s, around 80. Chance for a shower or two. So today is by far, it looks like the hottest day of the next week, Maya. And then we're going to start cooling down, of course, that rain, especially tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. All right, Joe, thank you so much for that. We are going to take another quick break, but sports is straight ahead. We have a couple All-Star games to talk about with Sports Director Harrison Beebe. Stay with us. While 6 Detroit Tigers are getting ready to take part in the MLB All-Star Game in just about an hour, we know that multiple Traverse City Pittsburghers are taking part in their own All-Star Game tomorrow. For more on that, let's turn things over to our sports director, Harrison Beebe, live in the Content Center. Harrison.
I'm not an all-star sports director. I'm just a regular sports director.
You'll get there.
Okay.
You just got to be voted.
You'll
get the votes.
I didn't know if that's where you were going with that transition. Yeah, a group of 4 of them were named to the team. One of them, due to an injury, won't be able to play, but 3 of the guys are heading over to be in the game in Madison, Wisconsin tomorrow night. We got to have a little longer conversation with Isaac Sturgis. He's an outfielder for the Pittsburghs this year, coming off a freshman year playing at Michigan State. So he's a Division I college baseball player. And it's cool to pick his brain about playing in TC for the summer and getting the chance to be in the All-Star game. When you found out you got the chance to be an All-Star, what did that honor mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Obviously, you work pretty hard for some of those individual achievements as well as the team wins and team goals. So seeing something like that kind of pay off after a long time and a lot of work is really cool.
To be one of 4 named. Obviously, you guys are division champs, so you were going to get a few on there. But last year, they only got 1 guy named. So to have 4 of you guys as a Pittsburgh organization be named, what does that mean to you guys to know that you have a division title and you're going to be well represented on paper at the All-Star events?
I mean, it's a good sign. I think it means the team's doing really well. The team's solid. So we were all excited for each other. We were texting each other and telling them congrats. So it's a good sign for the program.
I'm assuming you've been on All-Star teams before, but will this probably be the biggest atmosphere for an All-Star game you've been a part of?
Yeah, absolutely. My high school one was at Comerica, so that was pretty cool. So I'll be excited to see kind of how that stacks up and compares. I'm excited.
What are you expecting as far as, up close and personal, seeing the best of the best in the Northwoods League?
Yeah, well, I'm excited. A couple of my buddies are going to be going there as well from other teams that I haven't seen in a little bit. So I'm kind of getting to hang around them, get nice experiences from some of the other guys that'll be there too. It should be a good time.
So it's like one of those bittersweet things where you get to play in an All-Star game, but at the same time your teammates get 48 hours, 72 hours off up here in like prime summer season. It probably makes it a little like, oh man, it wouldn't have been the worst thing if I had missed out.
There's definitely that side of it too, but we're very blessed for this privilege to be able to go over there. That trip will be cool, so I'm looking forward to it.
There you go. Heard it from the source himself. Current All-Star playing in the game tomorrow night.
And again, MLB taking part in their own All-Star game in just an hour. 6 Tigers competing. I'm sure Harrison will have highlights for you coming up tonight at 11. But Harrison, that'll do it for sports for now. Thanks so much for that. We are going to take another quick break, but we'll check in with the question of the day related to 3D printed houses coming up next.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Well, earlier in the show, we told you about a new piece of technology, a concrete 3D printer that just arrived on the campus of Northwestern Michigan College in Traverse City that will 3D print homes. So our question today is, would you live in a 3D printed home? Majority of voters, 68%, are saying yes, 32% no. I'm sure a lot of people who are saying yes are thinking at this point, I'll live in any type of home, whether it's made by a 3D printer or not. Just need a home to live in. That's the boat I'm in right now. So thanks so much for joining us on Up North Live Unscripted at 6:30. We hope to see you back here at 11 o'clock tonight.